Am I on? Y'all got me?
Yeah.
Got you, Coach. How are
How's
you
it
doing,
going,
man?
guys?
Doing
Excellent.
great. What was today's practice like?
Well, today, Patrick, we just went in helmets. We really took a lot off the kids. We've been really, we've done a lot of tackling. You know, the NCAA will let you tackle 8 times over spring ball. We've already tackled 5 times. So we wanted to take some off of them because we are going to try to predominantly scrimmage on Saturday. We're going to try to have a day that is as much like real football as we can. I think that's kind of where we're at, what we need to do with our program. So we're going to play football, man. We're going to have officials. Quarterbacks are going to be live. I'm a quarterback live guy. That's just what I am. I mean, I'm just a guy that believes, you know, Trey Lowe's played in 3 games and Jack Walker's played in some JUCO games. Outside of that, we've got nobody that's played much college football. So we're going to go live some, and we'll do that Saturday with those guys. I think it's important to do that. The development, I've done that my whole career. I know a lot of people don't do that, but I just believe in it. I played the position. I always wanted to be live. I just believe in it, especially with their skill sets. So we're going to try to play a lot of football Saturday and see where we're at. Hopefully it'll be clean and good and not too much ugly, but I think that's where we're at and what we'll do. So today was a light day, just helmets. We did some red zone situational work, red zone scale, and that was about it. Worked on some special teams.
Coach, how is Tykeem Doss held up there at left tackle?
Really well. You know, Tykeem is a guy that has a great attitude. He's a smiler. He impacts people in a positive way. We think he's more of a natural at tackle than he is guard. That's what he played. He played tackle in junior college. We think this summer is going to be huge for him with Coach Ankar as far as developing his body and getting in a little better shape. And we think the sky's the limit for him.
Coach Hall, I never really got to get with you or ask you about this. Y'all really started spring ball early. Can you tell me your thoughts behind that and how that leads you into your off season?
Yeah, so we're a new coaching staff coming in, Glenn. And, you know, one thing about it is I wanted to go ahead and get going for 2 reasons, really. Number one, there's a lot of questions, right? There's questions from us to the players. There's questions from the players about us. And the only way to get a lot of those questions answered is to roll that ball out there and start going. So that was number one. Number 2 is to teach the language. We're coming in with a whole new language of how we communicate in every way, from offense to defense to special teams to how we treat people. You know, I told the offense today, we had a kid fumble the other day, and as he's coming off the field, I heard a player look at him and say, "Hey, man, you're good. You're good." That's not how we communicate here anymore. We don't tell a guy he's good when he fumbles the ball. Now, we look at him and we say, "Hey, man, one play at a time." Or, "Hey, man, learn from it, move on." Or, "Hey, man, we got to get better." But fumbling ain't good, and that ain't how we do things here anymore. So, you know, we had to start practice to get the language barrier breached and get moving with that. So that was my 2 main reasons.
Coach Darquez Turner, how have y'all seen him play this spring? And, you know, has he kind of stepped up as a leader?
Jock has been a proven player in this league. I coached against Jock 2 years ago in the bowl game. I thought he was one of the best D linemen that I coached against that year. Jock took a year off, so getting back into it, you know, early on, you could tell he was knocking a little rust off. Jock has got extremely good twitch and ability to move and slant and angle. He's explosive. And so just learning the scheme and learning to trust how to handle his gap and some of the things we do, it's going to naturally happen for him. But he's got a great attitude, and I think he's got a chance to be a really, really good player if he keeps listening to Brandon Lacey.
Coach, when y'all came into spring, 2 of the big things you talk about were tackling and the ability to cover in man. How you feel that's progressed so far?
You know, I think it's been up and down. You know, I think we've not executed very well offensively in a lot of practices, which caused us to not get as many one-on-one tackling opportunities as we would like. Hopefully, we're going to get some more of those Saturday and through the last week. You know, I think E. Scott at corner has really come on and had a great spring. He's made a lot of plays in man. I think Nate Brooks continues to do everything right all the time. And Lakevius Daniels coming on. He's playing a little star for us now. And man, you know, I'm trying to think. We got E. Scott, Nate. Oh, Rayshawn Mitchell's been cleared to practice a little bit here lately. Obviously, he's a tremendous talent that can really, really play. So I think we're going to be able to play some man. I do. We haven't tackled as well as I would want, but that's normal, right? I mean, we're still getting the program going. We got 4 more days or 3 more days to tackle before we're done with this.
Coach, is the star, is that the nickel?
Yes, the star is the overhang to the passing strength. He's what some people used to call the Sam linebacker or the nickel. It will be more of a corner type body for us. You know, as we play, we base out of that personnel grouping. Our base personnel will be like a nickel personnel, and the star is that guy.
Coach Darius Mayberry, has he kind of shown that he can be another guy like Gore that can kind of do everything y'all need out of him on the field?
Yeah, you know, Mayberry's a guy that's really solid. He does everything well. He doesn't really have a weakness. He continues to learn the offense and hitting it right. We'd like to see him continue to improve with breaking the first tackle. You know, I think that's always big at running back, but he's solid in pass pro, and he's got a great attitude. And he's up, you know, in the 195-pound range. So him and Gore are both right around 200. So they're solid backs, you know, at this level. And you know, I think Darius can have a good year for us.
Is there anybody that's throughout the course of the spring that you didn't really, know much about or just weren't that familiar with, that's really through the course of the spring has shown you that they can make an impact? I'm sure there's more than one guy here, but is there anybody that kind of comes to mind when I ask that?
Yeah, I told the team the last practice, you know, your reputation's built by your actions. It's not through talk. And Avery Hobbs and Grayson Gunner are 2 young men that I coached against coming into I coached against them twice. And I thought both of them were kind of soft, average football players. Told the whole team that right in front of them. I don't think they are anymore. I think they're tough guys, and they have had phenomenal springs. Avery's playing the jack linebacker spot for us, and Grayson has really come on as a tight end that could be a really, really, really good football player for us. So that's 2 off the top of my head that have really embraced this culture and are doing things. Swayze Bozeman's another one that's come along and is making it happen. J.D. Roberson showed up every day at practice. He's really come on. We talked about him before. Jerquan Scott's really coming on at guard. Cole Cavallo at tight end. I think Luke Baker's going to be a really good player at tight end. So those are some guys that our fans probably, aren't just staple names that I think are going to be really good football players, in this league moving forward.
Avery White's a kid I covered in high school a lot, and he always kind of stood out in terms of speed and being pretty physical out there. But where would you say his progression is right now?
Yeah, so Avery's coming off a serious injury in which he had surgery last year, and he's still feeling his way through that. I remember Avery, played at East Central, and man, he was a really physical player. He was one of the top baseball players down on the coast, and played for Seth down there. He's now the head coach at Pearl River, phenomenal high school football coach. And Avery was a physical guy that ran and tackled and hit. We haven't seen him cut it loose yet this spring. I think he's still learning to play that jack linebacker position. He's a conscientious kid that doesn't want to mess up. I still think the future is very bright for him, but he's coming off injury and still learning how to play coming off that.
Coach, can you talk about what that jack linebacker position is for people that may not know or not able to get to practice yet?
Yeah, so it's an edge guy that's got to be able to rush the passer and also be able to drop into coverage. So in the old 3-4 defenses, for all you guys that play Madden or played, NCAA football, if you picked 3-4 on the defense deal, it's that boundary stand-up outside linebacker. Now, that's real basic, guys, okay? It's way more than that, but just trying to give the people that listen to this kind of a thing they can relate to. So he's usually to the boundary. He'll be to the field some, but he's got to be able to rush the passer and be able to drop and relate into coverage.
Coach,
with-
another young man from the coast. Could you speak on TQ Newsom and how he's taking on that linebacker spot, moving over from running back?
TQ's a guy that I should have brought up when Patrick asked his question. So young man that's extremely intelligent. He's in the honor college program here at Southern Miss, makes phenomenal grades. You know, obviously was a great quarterback in high school, played for Coach Archie. And he came here and he's moving to linebacker and learning that, right? And man, he has really come on lately. He made a big hit in last Saturday's practice. He's showing physicality. We think he's going to be a really, really good football player down the road here. I'm excited about him. Guys,
Thank you,
I appreciate
sir.
all y'all do for me. I really do. Appreciate all you do for these kids. To the top, baby.